Well, what's up everyone? Mike here, Rusty Garage and Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I want to talk about some two-stroke oils and I want to answer a few questions. Do you have to shake up your gas can before you fill up your chainsaw, your trimmer, your blower, anything like that? I'm curious to see if there's some oils that dilute better in gas than others. I want to see if some oils separate in gas after they sit for 24 hours or so. But most of the time I do shake up my gas can before I pour it in, but there has been a few occasions that I forgot. Got about a half tank of the chainsaw filled up and then remembered, oh dang, I didn't shake it up. So I'm curious to know on some of these two-stroke oils if they stay diluted in the gas or not. So in this video, we're going to answer those questions and we're going to get a little scientific. All right, everyone. Told you we're getting a little scientific in this video. I've got 9 different beakers set up here and several different kinds of oil from the cheap stuff at Walmart. This is 8 ounces of two-stroke oil. It was less than $2. This Husqvarna oil, this 50-to-1, this is for 1 gallon, 2.6 ounces. This was almost $6 for this one little jug. So definitely some price discrepancies. We're going to head and try the Still Ultra in this test along with the regular Still oil. But I've ran several motorcycle oils as two-stroke oil, the Schaefer's, the HP2. I did pick up some Bel-Ray and some Castor that I know a lot of people like running these as well. So I'm curious if the motorcycle oils do separate in the gas, or basically if any of them will stay mixed. Once we're going to fill these up, we're going to mix everything at a 40-to-1 ratio because that's what I run on all my saws. So we're going to get close with 40-to-1. We're going to mix each one of these beakers. We're going to fill them up with 97.5 milliliters of gasoline, and then we're going to put 2.5 milliliters of oil in each one of these. So once we do that, we're going to see if the oil does just drop down to the bottom and settle. We'll test that on all of them. Then we'll give every one of them a good shake, get it all mixed up, and then we're going to let it set for 24 hours. We'll come back tomorrow and see if any of these actually did separate or not. So if you think you know what the results are going to be of this test, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let us know. So the first step, I'm going to go ahead and get all these filled up with 97.5 milliliters of gas. Then I've got this little beaker. This is a 10 milliliter beaker. So I can get 2.5 milliliters with that little eyedropper so we can get it close. But I'll clean this out in between each oil with some brake clean. Just make sure there's nothing left in there. And then we'll pour each oil in these individually and we'll see how it goes. So let me go ahead and get these filled up with gas and we'll be back. I do have one of my suction guns. I think you guys have already seen these in a previous video. I'm just going to get them all close and then we will fine tune it with that beaker or with a little one. That one's over full. Okay, let's get every one of these exact. Okay, that one is good. And whoever said you wouldn't use chemistry outside of school again? 96. Okay, so let's look here. Hopefully this comes out on camera. But we are at 97.5 on each one of these. Okay, so now we're going to take oil from each one of these, 2.5 milliliters. In between each one, I'll rinse this thing out with gas. Same with this beaker. This is how I'm going to measure out 2.5 milliliters. So we'll start with the Supertech, the cheap Walmart stuff. Literally, there's 8 ounces in here, and it was $1.98 for this. So value-wise, this is definitely the cheapest. And I know the bottoms of these have a cover, but I will remove it and show y'all how the oil looks once we get that far. if I can keep from breaking anything. Okay, so we want 2.5 milliliters. That didn't even, yeah, that gave us 1. So I guess each one of these is going to be roughly 2 milliliters. Actually, that got us close. So let's see. No, that's going to be it. Okay, so let's rinse this back out. Okay, that's all clean, and we're at 2.5 milliliters in here. So okay, just for reference on this, I will probably put 1 milliliter over just to dump in here, just to keep any residual that we're not going to be able to get out of here. But that one actually looked like it mixed up pretty decent on the way in. I didn't see any oil down low. Yeah, there's no oil sitting. So Supertech did dilute pretty much immediately, just dumping it in there. So that's good to know. Now let's move on to everyone's favorite, Still Ultra. Brand new jug. I think Richard Flagg calls it pond water. Do 2.7 in here. So that's right at almost 2.5 goach more. Now this isn't going to be exact, but this is going to be about as close as I can come up with. That's about 2.7. Let's see how the Still Ultra does. So we're right on our 100 milliliter mark. And let's pop this one out. That one also looks like it is diluted for the most part. There's no oil down in the bottom. We're sitting right at 100 milliliters like we need to be. So the next one will be the regular Still oil. You know, I'm not saying I was hoping to see if this was the ester. I know they used to have ester oil that they used, or ester based oil. Let's get this one mixed up here. 2.5 milliliters. That's about 2.2. And here's the orange bottle of Still. Are the results what you all are expecting so far? And let's pop this one out. Okay, I don't see any oil separated. So this is going to be a good sign for this stuff that's going to be sitting for 24 hours to see if it will separate. I'm really curious on this motorcycle oil if it's going to be separating or not. So far, the cheap one and the two Stills, they've diluted as we poured it in. Yeah, let's move on to the Husqvarna. Okay, we're good there. Let's dump this in the Husqvarna beaker. And let's take a look at it. Okay, no oil down in the bottom. It's separated good like the rest of them. Just looking from the bottom to top to see if it looks any darker down low, but it looks about the same. We'll move on to Echo, the Echo Red Armor. Okay, now the Echo. Just let that drain for a minute. Okay, now the Echo. We'll go ahead and check it out too. Now it does look a little darker down low than it does up high. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. So it looks like it does have some settled to the bottom compared to what that top looks like. That's okay. We're going to shake it up here in a minute when we get done, so everything's mixed up good, and we'll come back tomorrow and look at it. Okay, next up, Honda HP2. I think this is some really, really good oil. Okay, that is the HP2. That might take a minute to drain. That stuff felt kind of thick. Okay, so the HP2 definitely did separate. See, the top looks pretty clear. Bottom, it's got that oil down in it. That is good to know. Move on to the castor oil. You can definitely tell this stuff's thicker because it ain't wanting to suck up in this very well. This one might be hard to tell just because of the color of it. How are we looking? Actually, we're good. So let's dump this one. That's that castor oil. Dump it off down in here. Okay, and that, let's see if we can get this rinsed out. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to tell or not. Oh yeah, I can see it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. But there is oil settled down at the bottom. Pretty clear up top. It didn't separate for us. And the bell ray. Okay. Bell ray. Okay, bell ray, I can see already. See that oil down at the bottom? That is not mixed up. It's kind of to be expected though. Okay, and the last one we're going to do is Schaefer's. I've been running this for a little while. Doesn't feel as thick. It's sucking right up in this tube pretty good. Okay, that is pretty good. Dump in the Schaefer's. And that stuff's actually diluting better than some of the other ones. And we'll take a peek at it real quick. Well, Schaefer's, that boat oil actually is mixed up together pretty decent. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead, take each one of these, shake it, and then we're just going to let them sit. Just to make sure they're getting mixed up. Wiping my hand off in between so I'm not contaminating any of the oils. Okay, that looks a whole lot better. Castor. This one's going to be hard to tell just because the color of it. Almost, that'd kind of make me a little nervous having that in my gas cans, just because it's going to look like straight gas. You could be like me, you'll be wondering, did I mix gas up in that can? Okay, that one's mixed up decent. And the last one we got, Schaefer's, which it mixed up pretty good. So just so we keep some stuff out of this, we're going to put some Pro V1s up on top of some of this. Used golf balls. And we will come back tomorrow. Let me grab my phone. Okay, it's Friday, April 25th at 18:16. So all this is mixed up. We will come back tomorrow evening and pull these back off and just see if any of this oil has separated or if some of it's still staying diluted up into the gas. So we'll pick this back up again tomorrow, which for you guys will be just a few seconds. Okay, it is the next day, almost 24 hours. Let's take a look how everything looks. Okay, so hopefully you can tell. Looks like we lost anywhere from 8 to 9 milliliters of gas at each one of these. That was just from the gas evaporating, sitting. Okay, well, I'm going to take each one of these out and we're going to look and see if any of the oil did separate. Some of it may be hard to tell if it did or not, but I'm going to pour each one of these out into a gallon gas jug, and that way we'll see the gas will pour out first, and if there is any residual oil, it'll be settled in at the bottom. And this oil or gas is not going to go to waste. This cocktail of gas, this is probably going to get used in the Priyama. So first up was the Supertech. That stuff did dilute pretty quick. And that don't look bad. See if you all can see it a little better. Not really seeing anything in it. So let's dump this. Okay, it is empty. No oil. So that's good. Just set these up out of the way. This is your pond water, Still Ultra. Sure it's diluted. Yeah, it looks like it is. So there's that. All that looks good. So yeah, I honestly wouldn't have thought that we would have lost almost 10 milliliters of gas out of each one of these. I mean, obviously the golf balls didn't seal it up the best, but so this is your orange steel. It looks good too. No oil. That one diluted down just fine. Husqvarna oil. That one's next. It looks fine too. Husqvarna did just fine. So far so good. I'm more thinking that some of the motorcycle oils are gonna do it, and maybe I'm wrong. I haven't looked at any of this stuff. I haven't been in the shop since yesterday. Echo Red Armor, again, looks just like the other ones. There's the red armor. Not seeing anything down there. Clean as a whistle. Okay, next up, the Honda HP2. It looks good as well. Honda HP2, it is diluted just fine. Nothing in it. And Castrol 927. This is good oil. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this oil, but I highly dislike that it looks like straight gas. If I was pouring this out, I'd be questioning, did I mix oil up in that or not? Now, if you guys remember, Castrol, Bel-Ray, and the Honda was all fairly thick oil, but that stuff has no color. It looks like straight gas. So I don't know on it. Well, I imagine it is mixed up. Every other one has been doing pretty good so far. So let's dump this and see if there's any residual. But is it just me, or am I the only one that likes to see a tint of some sort of color in their gas whenever they're filling up their two-stroke stuff? It's clean. There's no residual in it. And the rain's coming. Okay, Bel-Ray. It's the next one. It looks just like the rest of them. Let me show you it. Okay, Bel-Ray looks just fine too. So let's dump it in. We're going on about 4 days of rain right now, and I've got several videos I need to do outside that it isn't, the weather's not cooperating with us right now. But here's the Bel-Ray. Let's dump it in. Same deal. It's clean, but highly do not like that it looks like gas. I could see somebody getting themselves in a bind a little bit by thinking you have mixed gas because you can't tell. And last one, Schaefer's. Set it up out of the way. This one did dilute pretty decent as we was pouring it in there, so I don't imagine we're gonna have, I'm not seeing anything. Schaefer's looks just fine, but every one of them did get down to about 91, 92 milliliters. So that much evaporation sitting in these beakers for 24 hours. I wouldn't have guessed they would have evaporated that much. And again, all looks good. So all we did once we mixed all of this up yesterday was shook it up a few times just to make sure it was mixed up good, and that was it. It sat for pretty much 24 hours. There's no separation. So would the results be different if it sat for a week? I don't know. I would have bet money that some of these thicker oils, the Bel-Ray, the Honda, Schaefer's, I would have bet that there would have been some sort of separation or settle of the oil, and we're not seeing any of that. 24 hours, it mixed up, it all stayed mixed up. I'm assuming, and I would bet, that that stuff's gonna stay mixed up into the gas. Really wish it'd quit raining. So hopefully you guys can hear me, because it is loud in the shop. So, what are y'all's thoughts? Is this kind of what you were expecting on this test? I mean, I didn't know. I would have bet money that some of these would have separated. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because several of these oils I bought just for this test. These glass beakers, I literally don't have a reason to keep glass beakers around, so I've got a bunch of glass beakers now that I really don't necessarily need. Or, I don't know, we might find another science project or something one day to use them again, but yeah. I'm just glad they weren't crazy expensive. But the Proyama, it's going to have, I don't know, a tank or two of gas anyways. I imagine that saw will take that cocktail just fine. And I don't think that I'm going to need to buy any two-stroke oil for quite some time. I still have 2 bottles of the Schaefer's around. So I'm still going to use it. It was leaving a little tackiness in the muffler, but it's fine. The Echo, I've been running it in the new Husqvarna saw. It's working good. These two, I have no issue running. I will not run this oil. And I don't know. I almost bet you this oil is probably better than the steel oil. So I don't know. If I mix up some gas solely for some of the Chinese stuff, it may get used in some of that. Now after doing this test, that really makes me wonder how long it would take for this to evaporate just sitting out here. Open, no obstructions. No, it's got about 125 milliliters in it. We may leave that. You know, and this one, this is what I rinsed the eyedropper out with. I don't know. Think there's enough oil in that to call it good? Yeah, we'll see if the Priyamas like it. Anyways, yeah. It definitely looks dark enough, but there's a lot of different colors mixed into it. This rain is terrible. We've had a lot of flooding in Oklahoma here lately. Oklahoma City, northeast Oklahoma, a lot of flooding, a lot of stuff getting washed out. Our road down by the pond, that's actually where I was headed after this video to, that road's gullying out on us already, so I need to dig a trench across that. I'll be doing that probably tomorrow. And then the very north end, there's a road up there that the water's been running down the road. I'm gonna put another trench in, and the little crossing for the Polaris Ranger that we put in, it's got a dam about 20 feet upstream. There's a bunch of sticks and stuff piled up, and it's dammed itself up. So I'm gonna take the backhoe and rip all that stuff out, but that's gonna be a separate video. I really hope the audio turns out, because this was quite a bit of effort put together to try to come up with more of an exact way and seeing a visualization to see if your oil is actually separating or not. But everyone, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of this test, how it worked. Do you think I should have did something different, or another oil that I should have tried just to see? We've got a baseline on all this. Everything worked out like it should have. So, I mean, we can test individual oils in the future and see if any of those do settle or not. But to answer the question of, do you actually need to shake your gas jug before you fill up your cans? From what I'm saying here, no. I'm still going to continue to shake my gas can just because I've always done it, and it just makes me feel better. Whether it's actually doing anything or not, I feel good about it, so we're going to continue to shake it. But from what I'm seeing, the few times I went to fill up a chainsaw or whatever and forgot to shake the jug, really don't need to sweat it, because most of it looks like it's mixed up just fine. But everyone, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.